I gotta do it. Ah, I can't go one day without lying. I can't. That's why my title says what it says. I'm lying. But that being said, I got a question. Look at that. Look at that dirt. I got a question though. I'm gonna just wait until people pop up in here. About to lock in. So give me some time real quick. So I'm gonna just be chilling until I'm just be chilling until people lock in real quick because I got a question. So if you're on this live right now, just wait a second. I got a question. I just gotta wait till some more people show up. Let me see if that title was effective. You know, I gotta lie. I've gotta lie. But I got a question though. I got a question. I'll probably ask my question in about a couple minutes. But I just need a couple more people to pop up in here. It's a really good question. It's a deep question. It's something that must be said, that must be asked. And I need to know the people's arguments. So let me just give me a couple minutes real quick. I'm probably gonna ask my question around probably like a minute and a half to 2 minutes. So when this live gets about 3.5 minutes to 4 minutes, I got my question. But I need more people to join this. I probably really should ask the question. I get like 10 people. It's a discussion. I need people with open minds to discuss this real quick. But I need some more people real quick. I need some more people. It's a question where I feel like you as a watcher can really share some important information with the world. It's a question that is supposed to transcend the mind. Also, okay, I see you say 13 people right now. I don't know, but we're gonna see. I got a question while you here. I'm gonna just ask my question right now. First, does anybody understand or know what the patriarchy is? If you do, can you please give your best definition of it in the comments? Because I got a question. My question is there a such thing as being a man? I want to know. I want to know your arguments for what you consider being a man. Is there a such thing, or is it just part of a patriarchal ideology? I need, if anybody want to know what patriarchy is, I need somebody to comment it, or you can even ask me what is it, and I'll give you my best definition, and then I can search it up to further explain it. But again, my question is there a such thing as being a man? Now, granted, I do want to say this. If you think of patriarchal ideologies, then you may consider that I am, how can you say it, a product of it, just based off of being a quote unquote man. But I want to know, if you think there's such thing as being a man, is there a system or a standard one should have to be considered a man? Is it financial? Is it being open, expressive, open-minded? Is it being caring? What is it? I want to know. I want to know what you think, and I want to see if I can come up with a possible rebuttal. Or if I can be like, okay, I see. Or I want to know if anybody else can come up with a possible rebuttal. Now, I'm gonna let you know this already. Most people are gonna shy away from these conversations. And this page is about expression. I'm okay with just conversations that are a bit uncomfortable. I think it helps us expand our mind. But so far, I see 4 people in here right now. A lot of people they left. They got scared. They said this is a tough conversation. But I want to know: is there such thing as being a man? Come on, comment below. By the way, subscribe because if you subscribe to me, I'm gonna tell you this already. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You're gonna have some of the deepest conversations that you have ever come across, and I may learn something from you. You may learn something from me. You smoke strong weed, huh, bro? Actually, I don't smoke. I know you do. Matter of fact, King Dada, I actually want to ask you because it this is the thing that just strange to me, Dada. Hold on, I'm gonna get back to you. Anybody else who joined alive? My question is: there such thing as being a man? If you have a definition of what it is to be a man, comment real quick. And I want to know. I want to come up with a possible rebuttal and see if anybody else got a rebuttal. You get it from the ancestors. I respect them. Now, Dada, this question is for you. Is there such thing as being a man? Same question, actually. On my page, and I don't even. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a variation or a version of me in this multiverse that I'm assuming is probably like bugging you and harassing you. I'm telling you, that's not me in this particular universe. I mean, I'm sure there's a variation, but in this universe, uh, I'm just a bummy guy. I'll tell you that already. All right, I'm about to read y'all comments, but give me a second. Let me see. Most people think that people who are black smoke. That's not what that means. So are you saying that most people have biases towards black people or stereotypical ideas? What about me? What about you? The definition of being a man is taking care of his family, coming home with money, paying bills, doing whatever it is to make your family happy. Now, does everybody believe what Kasich? Is it Kasich? Nah, they not bugging me, bro. Your variant is solid. I'm gonna be honest with you, King Dada, and I'm gonna go right back to you, Kasich. But King Dada, I'm gonna be honest with you. These variants, to me, they not solid. They bugging me. I mean, it's like all day there's these different variants, and they come by and they just harassing people. They're harassing Michelle Show. They now harassing April G Showers. I think April a sweet person. So I'm just like, where you coming from? There's is no life. I mean, I'm sure some. I don't freaking. I don't know. It's too much for me. Screwface. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Man, I like you're cool. Oh, I appreciate it. Being a man is living your life with a code of honor, knowing his traits and valuing his relationships with everyone outside of him. So, are you talking about? Hey, first, let me go to Kasich real quick. The definition of being a man is taking care of his family, coming home with money, paying bills. Okay. Is it necessary that a man pays bills? So, for example, let's say that a wife ends up making more. Does that now discredit his manhood? That the wife supports the family while the man does not. What is there anything that goes inside there that can say that's an alternative that says, okay, you may not provide financially, but blank, blank, blank. Let me know right now. The honor being a man is living your life with a code of honor, knowing his traits and valuing his relationships with everyone outside of him. Let me see. Your life with a code of honor, knowing his traits and valuing his relationship. God damn. I'm gonna have to go right back to that. I need somebody to look at Aqualad and tell me what y'all think about that. The Undertaker and Kane are brothers. They're not real brothers. Do you work out or how much can you lift? I'm weak as hell. Mankind, Mick Foley. Cactus Jack and Dude Love have never been seen at the same time. I don't even know what that means. Is that for Undertaker and Kane? No, no, it. No, a woman or a man can do whatever they want with their life. Now, the man can bring something else. Life is about making adjustments. What are some of the things that you feel can fill in that gap? What are some of the things we have to do to adjust? Judicial reform is helpful, but so societal difference is egotistical. Judicial, what do you mean by judicial reform? Y'all got to realize, I'm going to tell you this already. I'm ignorant. I'm ignorant. I don't know much. I mean, I'm nonsensical. If you look at my page, I don't know much. So, and I think it's helpful for the chat that when we talk about certain words like judicial reform, that you got to be a little more detailed so the people and me, because I'm ignorant, understand exactly what you're talking about. So then we could break it down more. But why do you feel societal differences is egotistical? You're cool. I like you. You're a really nice person. I appreciate it. People they say I'm mean. They say I rage bait. On this page. So I guess that's subjective. But again, I'm ignorant. So it is what it is. But let me go back to, let me see. Clean the house up. Fix the house. Pick up a new skill around the crib. Mow the lawn. Fix the pipes. Make the crib nice. Protect and create a home space. Okay. Aqualad. Let me see how I could best. So, based off what I read, and I mean it's a pretty good balance inside your comment. By the way, y'all, if you watching this, subscribe. We're gonna have deep conversations. When you talking to me, if things don't get deep, we gonna enter the realm in which you are able to express your ideas. This page is about conflicting ideologies. It's about people bringing different perspectives and seeing what we make out of it. All right. So, do I work out? I try. So, Aqualad, inside your comment, I see a mix of what people will consider man duty, women duty, right? Obviously, for me, I all that is dissipated. I don't put any labels to say which one's a duty, blah blah. But based off of your comment, do you? It seems to me, at least, that mentioning stuff like mow the lawn, fix the pipes, pick up a new skill around the crib, protect, seems to be automatic biases towards what a man duty should be. Now, would you say that those roles can be switched to where the woman can do those duties? And if a woman are doing those duties, let's say the man does the clean the house type situation, the woman does all the other duties, does that discredit his manhood? I gotta know. And I want you to let the people know, because we may learn something important off of this. And because of that, then I will let you all know personally in my life how things run. Do you have a TikTok or Facebook account? If you can, so will you please give it to me? I like you're really cool. I only have YouTube. I only use YouTube. I would say it's a 50-50 because a man and a woman can do what a man and a woman can do. Kasich, let me see by your picture. Kasich, I thought it said Kasich. Oh, I'm so off. I'm telling you, from this distance, it look like a CH. How old are you? I gotta know. Let us know how old you are. Because this is important. This is highly important. If you're honest, of course. If you're honest, of course. Again, if you're watching it, subscribe. The ideologies that we will discuss is at some point is going to transcend, which I mean as just push the boundaries of our thinking. 13. Casio, I'm saying Casio now. It's 13, and with that idea being in mind, is letting us know that there's a 50-50 that men and women can do the exact same thing. Possibility of doing the exact same thing. That right there at 13 is good. I'll let you know that already. Sorry, I'm in 14. That is an old photo. It's all good. At 14, thinking of the equality between man, women, or really, I mean, if we really want to get specific, well, nowadays there's man, women, and there's a spectrum between. But let's just look at that. It's pretty much saying that there's a balance that each can do these duties. I think that if you keep that mindset and you carry that on in your life, you're gonna have some really good stuff coming with you. Now, because he'll be providing in another aspect of space, whether monetary, cooking, cleaning, fixing the car, it don't matter. What makes a man is doing what is needed of him at the moment. I got to give it to you right there. I got to give it to you. I think they should be able to do 50-50. I got to give it to you. That is what I'm talking about. Now, let me tell you about my personal life a bit. My wife makes more than me, right? Makes more than me. And now, I've heard many times, people go about with the, idea I should make more than her. You got to understand based off of the conditions. My wife is educated with a master's degree inside. I don't want to get too detailed. I'm not trying to go on her personal life. But in her PhD program, to me, she deserves to make more. She is working her ass off. I am a student in school, but I am way behind. She's working her ass off. And for me, I felt like, especially during times, like if you go further back in history, if you get further back in history, society has tried to leave women out of important things, such as in the workforce. We know that women took over the workforce, or not took over, but was very prominent in the workforce based off of World War II. And we also understand that because of societal oppression, systemic oppression, such as patriarchy ideologies, that a lot of time, if a woman likes to do a sport, she should be allowed to. Oh, shit. I didn't say it. Castillo said it. That's what I'm talking about. But if a man can mow the grass, a woman can mow the grass. If a girl fixes a refrigerator, a woman or a man can fix a refrigerator. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Hey, Castillo, you need to write some new laws. You need to be running the country right now. You gotta put inside people's head it's important that you can do equally as the next. What do you think women rights have started? Wait. If a woman likes to do, why do you think women rights have started, but why also certain female leaders took over? Okay, well, y'all gotta realize this. I'm ignorant. I don't know much. But what I could say at least is that after, how's your day going, bro? It's going great. These people are giving me some really good information. After, what was it? It was 1860. I forgot. Anyways, well, actually a little bit after that. But anyways, after blacks were technically free from slavery and black men gained the right to vote, really they got it illegally, but there were barriers in the way, such as crime fighting clause, all that kind of stuff. We do know the feminism movement started, which is pretty much the outcome of the 19th Amendment, which was initiated in 1919, but I believe it passed in 1920, where women got the right to vote. Anyways, but that, well, historically at least, if you think about this, historically, black men after slavery was given the right to vote before the white women in America. I'm just saying based off of historical records as we consider it. We started the first wave of feminism. which even inside that wave kept out colored women. So that's just anyone who wasn't white, pretty much. Now, if you don't believe that, either you do some research, search it up, or you can just believe whatever other alternatives you believe in, whatever. Um, but why also certain female leaders took over? Now, if you're talking about why other female leaders took over, are you talking about? By the way, y'all, I'm talking about this right here. I'm talking about is just American. I'm just talking about American history. Now, the world history within the world, I'm still ignorant in that. I'm just talking about American history. Now, why certain female leaders took over? I'm not really sure. I would say that between probably the first wave of feminism to the second wave of feminism, you realize that inside the first wave to the second wave, the difference is that the first wave left out people of color, and I believe the second wave started including more diverse groups of women, which is important because usually when one tries to oppress the other one and leaves one out, they usually fall to some kind of hypocrisy or contradiction inside their beliefs of why they do it, which allows someone else to say, huh. So for example, let's say this to me this is a clear example, but someone can argue. Let's say uh, race and sexuality, right? Let's just say race and gender. Let's just say that. Let's say race and gender. Really, you could add sexuality in there too. But if you oppress one and you feel, hey, this is not right based off of these conditions, but then you look at the next one, such as something like gender, and you think whatever oppression within there was okay, then based off of those conditions, then that kind of really conflicts with this one because you're oppressing somebody off of a biological condition, and with like gender oppressing somebody off of a biological condition. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say gender, sex. I'm gonna say sex, biological condition. Um, but if you say one is right and the other one's not right, well, there's a problem. They both, under the condition, oppresses somebody off of a biological condition. So if you're okay with one, you need to be okay with the other one. To really, now somebody could say the difference is that there's just color and then there's sex organs. To me, I don't give a fuck. It's a we're looking at biological conditions. That's what we're looking at. Let me read some of these things. The past 50 years, women's rights have changed, which is very sad. I don't like to be rude. I like to be a nice person to ever I see. As soon as the blacks were free, they should have been given the right to vote along with the women. After we conquered America from Great Britain, stuff to go, went to go downhill. What? What classes are you in? You said you're 14, right? And you're just soaking in this information and just throwing it at people. Just like you need to. What you need to do is run this country. I'll tell you that already, because you own something. That was a missed question, mine. And why also certain females took over and made a lasting impact. Oh, someone I appreciate the women from back in the day. Then someone I appreciate the women from back in the day than from the women today, generally speaking. When you talk about back in the day, how far are we talking? And we know, and we at least know that back in the day, coming to the president instead of Donald Trump, she would get the same rights. We never got him below a C or a B in history. Yeah, I bet. I'll be surprised if you got below goddamn B, or even got to a B. 1800s Harriet Tubman, main example. People at that time, obviously, in those conditions, at least compared to now, just look a lot more extreme. It's like you got to go and get past. You got a lot more barriers to get past. Nowadays, we tend to. We tend to. I'm trying to look for the right word, but we tend, because of our experiences living in our present time. People on a daily basis is not thinking of historical matters or historical impacts, but because of just our basic experiences every day, we take that for granted. We take for granted that what we have, a lot of us at least, is more fortunate than back then. And back then, people have to have a lot more passion or compassion and bravery, and and be passionate about changing the conditions that they are in. Like today, and I'll be honest with you, in my own opinion, what are we talking about? We're talking about, um, the question was, is there such thing as being a man? Now we went down and said, and I'm gonna get back to you, DSR, but we went down and talked about, well, if you look in the chat, people were giving examples of what they believe what it is to be a man. Um, and I also wanted to mention that, is it just a construct of like whatever ideas we have is a construct of patriarchal ideologies, or is there something outside that makes it a man? So pretty much, like, as we discussed on here, one may say, hey, a man should be able to provide for his family, stuff like that, and then I will ask, hey, is that just like something that we are kind of socially constructed to put on the man, or is it the fact that no, a woman or something else outside of what a man is able to do those same things while a man finds some kind of alternative? So that's kind of what we were at, like cleaning houses, coming home, expressing, being more expressive rather than being stagnant or whatever like that, or not being open. Is being open a man? So those are some of the things we talked about the historical accounts too of pretty much first wave and second wave feminism, the differences. Like I said, if a man can cut the grass, a woman can cut the grass too. Yep. Okay. I've heard. Let me see. Let's see. Tory Parks. I think that a woman can do the same thing without it being derogatory. That's something. I gotta give it to you, Tory. Gotta give it to you. That's that. By the way, if anybody's new on this live, subscribe. Like I said, these are the kind of lives where the people are to express their ideologies, their beliefs. This is a page of just, I mean, I go in here, I like to troll, I ain't gonna lie, but this is a page of philosophical discussion. This is a page in which I want to see how much the people are willing to transcend their mind or even share what they feel, what they think, without someone saying, hey, you're wrong. We can challenge the argument, we can break down the argument, we can find, by looking at some kind of logical analysis if something contradicts or whatnot. But I don't want to look at it and be like, hey, you're wrong. I want to look at somebody's point of view and their perspective and see what we can get out of it. We got to realize that we could pretty much learn off of anything. Information and knowledge is around us. So I don't think that it's good for us to, of course, don't be too open. If you're way too open, which is open-mindedness, that means you can take in false information. But if you're too closed, then you will probably take in no new information. So in this page, I want people just to be like, hey, let me think of a different perspective, or look at this person's perspective and consider it. Consider it under what conditions that they are talking about, and see if it fits inside your reality. This page is about conflicting ideologies. Um, in the United States, it should be a 50-50. Yeah, it should be like literally like I mean, if I don't want to go too far off, because if I start talking about other things, I'm gonna start talking about dualism and things that connect to spirituality or even just balance in the universe. But I think we should think of balance in general. But I will say, to me, the me and you both, Africans in public and maybe private school, still only talk Mr. Hitman, Jewish killer, but not the man who has done more damage to our kinds in silent records. But I would say the me, I'm probably reading this wrong. You probably got to do it again for me. Both Africans in public and maybe private school still only talk Mr. Hitman, Jewish killer, but not. Oh, you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about Hitler. I was like, but not the man who has done more damage to our kind in silent records. Yeah, of course. That's if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, then yeah, that's just American educational institutions, like to throw stuff under the rug a bit. I don't understand why people think that a man has to pay the bills, but the women to all have to do all of the housework. They can go half and half. I agree. I agree we when there's no universal law or rule that says under these conditions, under these sex organs, that there are these duties you have to do. I haven't come across that. Now, if anybody else have come across that, please provide that to me. Even if you have some kind of argument that cannot be contradicted, if you have some kind of evidence that is found somewhere, please let me know, because I gotta know. I gotta know where this come from, or is this just patriarchal ideologies? Now, again, when I began this live, I said that I will say what I think patriarchal ideology is. If you don't quite understand, based off what I understand, patriarchy is a system, a society, or whatever the case may be. I like to say system in which it is run by a man. Obviously, which will mean that it doesn't really have to be. It doesn't really have to mean this, but this is really the consequence of what happens. Is that if you are not that kind, then you automatically become oppressed to some degree. Just like inside the system of white supremacy, if you are not inside that, you become oppressed. Inside the system of heterosexuality, if you are not that, you become oppressed. I mean, we can keep going. We have Kimberly Crenshaw had this great thing called, damn, how did I forget? Oh shoot. See. Oh my God, what was it called? Let me see. Hold on, give me a second. I gotta type it in. Oh, that's right, intersectionality. And to say that, I can literally go to say that if you are, we can really make it further to say even if you are not a person is able-bodied, you are inside of a system in which, and if you are disabled, as one may call it, then you are a subject to some kind of disadvantage, pretty much, because the way that on the daily basis people think is we create the world or craft the world based off of the norm. So, I mean, now like we have handicap parking. Obviously, we got ramps for wheelchairs. We got all these things, but these are newer things that come about because of someone want to make some kind of change. But what I'm really just saying is when it first starts off, people aren't thinking about that. We're thinking about what fits for a norm, for the one who is typically not oppressed under that condition. But under Kimberly Crenshaw's intersectionality, these things can intersect. So you can literally, I don't want to go too far because I don't want to just talk blabberish. But what that really means is that under these things, and it's kind of hard to define oppressiveness together, because you can be like, for example, inside of America, at least historically, they will consider black women to have been the most oppressed. But if you take the average black woman, I don't want to say it, I'm sorry. Just know when I say that, I'm not generalizing. You take the average, but you also take the average straight black woman who's able-bodied and all this kind of stuff versus the a black woman who is disabled and not straight. Then there's where there's an issue at, where this person may get more of the benefits of society or the less oppression than this person. This is an intersection, and literally it can go a lot of ways. All right, let me see. Saying I don't understand why people think the man do the outside work and the woman do the inside work is very 50-50. That's what it should be. I agree. What I have learned over the years that the man is to do all the hard work and pay the bills, but the woman can just sit there and look pretty. That's how the world has made it. And like in my life, like I mentioned earlier on this live, in my life, it's literally almost opposite, to where my wife does, well, I would do house stuff. I would, like yesterday, I wash clothes, I would clean, I'm about to do dishes, but I do work too. But she makes the more money. She's the one who pays most of the bills and other, without me being egotistical or prideful and saying, oh, I should be doing blah blah. I say, you overcoming a system which says that you shouldn't, and I think that's amazing. I think that, and it's not that I'm just like, just sitting back and like, saying, hey, you do all the work. It's that I really truly think that it's an overcoming from what history has literally subjected really her to, by saying you shouldn't be doing this. But she says, fuck yeah, I should. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see. Well, Cassell, that not always the case nowadays. What I think is weird is that when a man does something bad in school, he gets in trouble, but if a woman does, they don't. So, Cassell, you're 14. Is this based off of is this based off of just experience that you've seen in your school? I haven't been in school for a long time, so I don't really know. Well, as high school or lower, I'm in college, but I don't really know how that really works. Let me know what do you think. A couple days ago, I got in trouble. Oh, you're literally saying right there. For throwing a milk carton, and I got in serious trouble, but a woman was on her phone and didn't get in trouble. Well, where did you throw the milk carton? Did you hit somebody in the head? And you gotta look at the conditions in which people judge behavior. Somebody may look at throwing a milk carton as a potential risk factor or hurting somebody versus somebody just being on the phone. A girl can come to school with a tank top and a hoodie in 90-degree weather, and she gets in trouble, but a boy can, with a Speedo and not get in trouble. Okay, we're on to something. We are on to something. By the way, if you're new in this live, subscribe. I mean, we talking about some very important things inside of our ideologies. But Tory Park says, in a rebuttal to Castillo's case, that in the conditions in which, inside hot weather, and we actually see this a lot inside the world in general, just as adults. Matter of fact, across the country, not across the country, across the world, probably somewhere in Europe, there's a lot of protests where there are shirtless women who protest and march because they believe that it is not right that they have to hide their breasts, a natural organ, or I don't know, is that called an organ? I don't fucking know. But men aren't penalized from something like that. So she's pretty much saying that. Oh, well, by the way, if I say she, he, if you have certain pronouns preferences, just know that I'm only speaking based off of ignorance. Okay. So whatever I say, if I give you a pronoun, don't take it serious. I'm not literally saying that's what you. I just need to. We got to understand that we're conditioned a certain way. But anyways, Tori is pretty much saying that even inside hot weather, girls they can get penalized for really just trying to cool down. Obviously, because that means that the school technically sees it as it's something that's disturbing with the people. It's disturbing to people. It's not normal to people. I don't want to use these words, but you get what I'm saying. But a boy can do the same thing. I've seen in high school many times where football players can take off their shirts when I was in high school, obviously, and that'd be fine. But it's a disturbance when a girl wears a tank top. No, me and my friends were just sitting outside, just hanging out, and she had her phone out in the middle of gym. She was posting pictures. I'm sorry. I'm this kind of person. I got to go back real quick. It's GYM. That gym is what you're talking about. She was posting pictures of us and posting it on Instagram, saying bad things about us, but we all were doing. We're just throwing. How do you know she was posting that? You saw something? What are your pronouns of choice? I'm be honest with you. Well, on this page, conscious X is considered it because conscious X is just an entity, doesn't really have any physical um, attributes. Now it's manifested as me in different variations. So, however you take that, but just for the norm of the world, I usually just say he, him. But I don't really care. You can call me whatever you want. Toy Parks, the system has changed over time for their freedom, but for me, I hate to say these words, they have too much freedom. However, in regards, okay, have too much freedom as in what? What do you mean? Let's hear. Okay, you got it down there. What's with these paragraphs? It's deep conversations. That's what's up with these paragraphs. I need y'all to subscribe. She was also posting CP pictures. I don't know what CP is. Color people? What is that? Regardless, there are predators that will make the female feel uncomfortable, and then other things will be brought up a level due to no self-control. Okay, now we are on the conversation of predators, which is for people becomes a justification for. I'm gonna use girls for example, based off our context, which gives people justification of why girls should cover up a little bit more. Now, do we think that we should limit girls from the freedoms of expressing their own selves, or find ways to alleviate predators? My friend was behind her and saw her taking pictures of us. I still don't know what CP pictures is. I'm going to be honest with you. Unless I'm reading something wrong. Now, I've seen before that there's these different methods people would use where, obviously they have had. But, oh, by the way, if like CALCK, so I don't know. I understand you're young, so if you got a parent around you and your parent like, what the heck is this? Just let them know that I'm cool. I'm not over here giving you false information. I mean, you were free to think the way you think. You're in school for a reason. And just I don't freaking know. I'm not a parent, so I just don't know how parents think to that degree. But anyways, there's been many mechanisms in which they'll try to alleviate that by creating like blow up child freaking dolls, which is weird, or like baby dolls, whatever like that. At least that I've seen. There's I believe now to some degree there's possibly some kind of AI version of a child, just so people could. Now, do we think that actually stops it, or that just reinforces somebody to be like, oh my god, I can't wait for the real thing? Like, I want to know what y'all think. This is about to be explicit as hell. They can have freedom in the house, but not outside in certain or specific public places. Okay. Now, again, wait, women can't wear anything that is showing her shoulder without a man catcalling her. Based off of these two comments, DSR and Tory Parks, I need to know, whoever's in the chat, I need to know which one do y'all agree with a little bit more. Do y'all agree that there should be limitations only because we have considered predators in the world, or there shouldn't be limitations, but there should be more like I don't want to say consequences, but ways to alleviate predators, but allow the person to still do what they have to do? I gotta know. By the way, I'm about to get off a little bit. My wife was calling me a bit ago, and I couldn't answer because we gotta talk about this. We gotta talk. This is actually a really good live. I had a live the other day about what was it about? Hypocrisy. People was going. I mean, people was they was killing it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna have another live probably like I don't know tomorrow, next couple of days. I don't freaking know, but you gotta subscribe because I want to know. These lives isn't about what I think. It's about I have questions throughout the day, and I want to know what y'all think. I want to know where your intellect is at, and where your mind's at, what you believe, what you value, where's your conflictions are. Where are your conflictions? Make sure you check out my song after your phone call, bro. I got to. You gotta tag me in it, because if not, this memory right here, I'm gonna forget. I'm just gonna forget. All right. Probably I'm gonna get off when it gets to like 50. When it gets to 50 minutes. This is the longest live I've ever been on, I think. All right, let's see. I think that there are some fast little girls out here, but a girl wearing a shorter shirt, mind you, she 14, and men are saying, well, she wanted. Light, I, LTE, I don't know what the LTE is. I will, you have my word. I will, you, oh, I will. Tory Parks. What did y'all think? What y'all think about that? You said fast. You, Tory's saying that. Okay, granted, there are some little girls under the conditions that they're maybe where they're from or whatever the case may be, may actually spam with four may actually have produced some fast little girls, but mind you that being 14 and wearing uh uh but wearing but girl wearing a shorter or wear a shirt, some of these guys are pretty much saying that under the conditions that if a girl wears this, she must want something. Only because how the guy feels based off of seeing those things. Is that true or is that false? Oh, I appreciate that. You're a really cool person. I like. How do I save your channel? I want to talk to you. You can just click my page and just subscribe and put that ring bell or whatever like that. I could do let you know though that I'm annoying sometimes. As in, I like to like you'll say I'm nice, but sometimes I like to go around and harass people. But I only do it for psychological experimentation. Now, if I post on like my story and I say like recently I put Lil Wayne's trash based off of his album, yeah, the album's trash. I'm sorry, but I am trying to see what sparks people. So that's just how I am. I used to man the like button like 40 times, and I subscribe. Appreciate it. But back to what Tori said. Yeah, is it the case that little girls who are just expressing what they like based off of just maybe conditions that they're from, environment they're from, what they see, and wearing it. Is it true that they want something out of it, or is it just the fact that the man wants something out of it based off of possibly some kind of social construction or patriarchal construction, something that says that women become sexy by wearing this, and they also want it based off wearing this. I gotta know. Man, groping a woman is fine. A woman walking down the street in a fishnet skirt is a problem. Groping a woman is fine. A woman walking down the street in a fishnet skirt is a problem. Now, Tory Parks. Problem for which one? I gotta know, because depending on this answer is going to either conflict for what you said before, the statement before, or is gonna push or evolve it. I gotta know what you mean as a woman walking down the street in a skirt, a fishnet skirt is a problem. I gotta know it. Now I possibly just prepared you for, something, but I just gotta know. I gotta let my wife know that I'm about to call her in a little bit, so she don't think I'm trying to avoid her. Just tag you in it. Okay, I got you. Again, if you new on this live, subscribe. I actually want to know how many people actually tune in on here, because I mean my lives have been, I mean the numbers has been going up lately, and I've been pretty excited. Yeah, I think King Dada probably left. Dada, if you here, you better say something, man. I got a variation. I got a variant for you. Now, I'm just gonna wait a little bit just in case, just so we can see if Tori responds. But never mind. I was about to say something, but never mind. But anyways, but I'm about to get off of this live though. But I will like for you all to tune in next live, because I may have something a pretty, oh shoot, I got some people up in here now that I mess with. We got Laura Crenny and we got freaking Topic LKE Luke. Y'all just missed a good conversation, man. I'm about to hop off of this thing, but y'all missed a good conversation. Y'all miss a great conversation regarding the ideologies of what it means to be a man. I mean, we had just saw this right now. What's cracking, man? It's been a minute, but we had some good back and forth. We had some good rebuttals. We had, I mean, the people were doing a thing. I mean, it was dope. Now, the next live I get on, I don't know when that's gonna be. Probably next couple of days, but it's gonna be a good conversation. I mean, the other, like I mentioned, I spoke about hypocrisy the other day. People was going ham on that. It was dope. This time um we talked about what it means to be a man. We talked about first wave feminism, second wave feminism. We talked about um the duties of man and women, or social duties. We talked about uh, predators, and are there justifications for why we put limit on what little girls can wear while we don't with little boys, for example. It was great. Geez, I just came up in my Nato. Noto, is that notification? I gotta understand. I don't know. Mine too, Crinny. We were the last seconds. I'm Crinny. I've been watching your stuff, man. Every time you post, I watch. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every time, Baltimore, like every time. I peep it all out. I may not be as active, but I peep it out. You talking that ish. What is it? Well, a woman can just be minding her business, and a man can just grape her. It is not a problem. The world is too toxic for this stuff. Well, a woman can just be minding her business, and a man can just grope her. Oh, you mean grope her. And it is not a problem. The world is too toxic for this stuff. I gotta understand that a little bit, but we gotta catch up, man. Shit, it's been a fat while, and Cram be making hella moves lately. Yeah, we're gonna have to catch up. Tori, I'm gonna think about what you said, but I'm not sure if that answered in regards to the fishnet thing, unless I'm just like, unless I'm not reading it right. Thanks, bro. Cinematography is incredible, bro. Unmatched. I appreciate it. If you ever out here in Cali, hit me up. I will. I mean, I'll make a movie for you. I'm telling you. I'll color the shit out that thing. I'm telling you. This is just beginning. I'm just barely getting started with cinematography. I'm being honest with you. See you later. Have a nice day. When are you going live again? I don't know, but I'll probably lie to people again with a different title. Oh, well, like she's coming from a club. Okay. So you don't really mean as in it's a problem that she's doing it, but you mean as in it's a problem in the world is what you mean. If correct me if I'm wrong. Um, when I'm going live again, I don't know, but like I said, I'm just gonna lie. I'm just gonna lie to people. I'm gonna say Eminem is live. I don't freaking know. I don't know. Yes. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. That it's an interesting perspective, and I'm gonna be honest with you, as someone who, at least in a sex sense, born as a male, um, and based off of the constructions or the conditions in which I was raised underneath, to some extent, it's like it's kind of hard to lead. Like obviously, I'm aware of these things. My page ain't called conscious for no reason. But it is very weird when it's like you become conflicted when some of those things do, because of conditioning to some degree, do make you feel that, oh, that is sexy, or that's, rather than it's just somebody going out just with a style. It's a weird thing, and I really want to get to the bottom of this and figure out why are we like that? How can we fully escape that, even if we are aware? Or as humans, are we really against some of these things, or do we a little bit actually conform to it? So women should be able to wear what they want to a certain extent. I'm gonna have to write that down and see and discuss that on the next live, because I want to know what certain extent is, and how does that conflict with the beginning of that statement. Women should be able to wear what be able to wear what they want. Women should be able to wear what they want, but also under certain to a certain extent. I want to sit here and try to think about what does that mean. So until next time, and remember, the villain is coming. Truth is on his way.